Hi, everyone. I'm Fiona Forbes for Investment Pitch Media, and today I am joined by Caleb Stroup, who is President and CEO of Headwater Gold, and we're going to chat about a lot of things today, Caleb, but first and foremost, tell us a little bit about Headwater.
Yeah, so Headwater's an exploration company. We're focused on exploring for high-grade epithermal gold veins in the western U.S. Relatively new story. We listed in June of 2021. So it's been about a year and a half now as a public company, but we've been very active exploring a large portfolio of projects, all in the western U.S. And as I said, all specifically targeting high-grade epithermal veins.
Excellent. And you've got a really interesting hybrid business model. Explain this to us and how Newcrest plays into it.
Yeah. So we have always had a large portfolio of exploration properties. And to accomplish significant exploration successfully on a big portfolio, to us, it makes sense to pursue this hybrid model where we attract high-quality partners like Newcrest to finance exploration on a contingent of those properties, but also, importantly, have our own 100% exploration on the side, giving our shareholders leverage to pure upside on discovery success, while minimizing sort of the dilution and financing risk that is typically associated with a lot of junior explorers.
Interesting stuff. Now let's get to this week's news. Tell us about what's going on with your 100% owned Katey Gold project that's located in Southeast Oregon. What's happening there?
Yeah, so we've been very active both on our 100% stuff and on the Newcrest earn-in properties. But we just put out some exciting news here earlier this week about our Katey project along the Oregon-Idaho border, where we're very excited to get back out there drilling. This was one of the projects we drilled right after listing, and we're only able to drill two holes out there before the winter kind of came down on us. But we had some significant success just in that limited drilling program where we hit a very nice structural feeder zone to an epithermal target that we had. Basically exactly what we were looking for, with a high-grade feeder target of about just about 2 meters of a little over 30 grams per ton in a broader zone of about 15 meters of over 6 grams per ton. And so we had plans last summer, to go out there and follow that up. But the Newcrest deal was coming together and we were still negotiating that and had to unfortunately delay that. But we've got that all ready to go now. We used that time while we were working on that Newcrest deal to do a bunch of low-cost activities to advance this project and tighten up our targets. So that was a big part of what I put out in that news release recently, where we've now taken the one anomaly that we had identified with drilling and tied it to the surface, identified a high-grade zone at surface. Immediately above it were outcrops in a small outcrop. And importantly, though, we've also extended that along strike over about a kilometer-long zone using soil samples, auger soil samples, both to the north and the south. So now we've got a target that we know has high grade at depth. We need to follow it up immediately around that previous intersection. But we've also got some great indication that there's some real scale to this alteration cell in the system. And that's what we're going to go do. That's what we were talking about, a relatively large program kicking off here early summer.
Great stuff. And you've got solid financing in place?
Yeah, so we just completed a financing a little over a week ago where we raised about $2.7 million. So with that and some cash we had in the bank, we've got about $4 million in the bank right now. So that can accomplish all of our short-term goals on Katey and beyond. And we also manage all these Newcrest earn-in projects and collect a management fee from all that exploration as well. 10% of all the exploration we get in the form of a management fee. So we're pretty well situated on the cash side, and we've got a lot of projects that we're anxious to get going on. First and foremost, Katey.
And Caleb, tell us a little bit about your exploration philosophy.
Yeah, so we've always been specifically focused on the high-grade component of epithermal systems. That's where the bulk of the value really is added. So you won't see us paying a lot of attention or messing around with the lower grade, bulk tonnage type of deposits. We're looking to zero in on the high grade feeder structures, and then the low-grade stuff can come in add to scale and value down the line, but you really typically need to find the high-grade cores of these things to demonstrate that you've really got something. So we've always been focused on that. And we're not afraid to look at early stage opportunities. That's the bulk of our portfolio is early stage targets that we've put together ourselves from scratch, essentially, and then went and ponied up our own money to drill initially. And now we've got a great partner at NEWSWIRE to advance those, but we've also got new ideas coming in and things that we're going to advance ourselves as well.
What other projects do you have going on at Headwater?
So as I said, we got a big portfolio of projects, about 10 or 11 in the portfolio right now. Katey will be the focus this year in terms of drill projects, but we've recognized for sure that we need to keep advancing all of the projects that are sort of next in order of priority, so that we have a constant pipeline of drill-ready projects to bring in and drill in 2024 and beyond. And some of these, in keeping with our business model, if they don't perform, we'll get rid of them, either through dropping them or divesting them, and continually look to add new projects. So we've got potentially some new acquisitions in the future here that we're working on, which has always been a big component of the Headwater story. The portfolio has never really been static. We're always cycling projects out and looking to upgrade with new ones coming in.
And let's talk to investors. Why Headwater?
Well, we're a very active junior by any standards, for sure. One of the most active, perhaps the most active junior company drilling exploration stage projects in Nevada. And as I said earlier, we've got a lot of insulation from some of the typical pitfalls of a junior, where we've got constant news flow without having to suffer the dilution and financing risk that most juniors have to raise the money in oftentimes a tough market to keep the story going. We've got sort of the baseline activities and the Newcrest earn-in projects, but then we also have the upside to the 100% portfolio as well. And the combination of those things results in very steady news flow and a lot of obvious upcoming catalysts. This Katey project is one, but we also we're still waiting on final results from last year's Spring Peak drilling program, where we've only announced 1 of 10 holes that we drilled. Those will be coming out soon. The rest will be coming out soon. And we hit something significant that we announced earlier this year in the deepest hole in the mineralized zone that we discovered out there. So that either way is going to result in significant drilling along strike and down dip on that one. And we're hopeful that these assays that come back here support the story in an even bigger way, for sure.
Well, Caleb, we can't wait to find out what's happening with you next. If you want to find out more about Headwater Gold, you can check out their website. It is headwatergold.com. For Investment Pitch Media, I'm Fiona Forbes.